What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. My friend Shawn Randazzo from Detroit Style Pizza Company is joining us on the podcast. We're going to talk all about my favorite type of pizza right now, Detroit Style Pizza. So, Shawn, welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for hanging out with me.
Thanks for having me, Bruce. I'm looking forward to it.
So we talked a while back. I think you were one of the first podcast episodes that we did. I know we talked on the Pizza Summit that we just recently launched in early April, but I'm pretty sure you were one of the top or first 20 podcast interviews that we did. And that was so long ago. So it's good to finally catch up to you with what you've been going on. I know you've been real busy lately, so I appreciate you taking the time.
Awesome. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. How did you get into Detroit Style Pizza?
I got into Detroit Style Pizza one summer in, I believe it was 1995. I was looking for a summer job and walked into a pizzeria, carry out and delivery place called Cloverleaf Pizza.
Yeah.
And they were hiring, and he asked if I could start the next day. And I was hired pretty much on the spot as a delivery driver, started the next day. And that's my intro into the pizza stuff. But when I was 14, my first job actually was at a party store. And I think I mentioned this on last time we talked, but they got the pizza dough from the place, well, Cloverleaf, years before, so I was actually playing with that dough and stuff in the party store at 14 and not even knowing until years later that that was the same, company that I ended up dealing with.
Wow. Now, Detroit Style Pizza is probably where you are located, been around forever, right?
Yeah. Considered as pizza for me all my life until I started traveling out of state.
Right, but for us, like I'm in Boston, and people who aren't in the Detroit area, it's kind of like it's been popular for a few years now, but I feel like it's really being popular and spread across the country now. Why do you think that is?
Well, a lot of reasons. I don't want to take credit for a lot of it, but about 11 years ago, when I did realize that what we had here was special as a style of pizza, when I went to Columbus in 2009 and no one had this style and I ended up winning first place, I really had a fire and passion to get this style out there. And, I told you, went into that deep, and I'm sure people have heard that story, but, I definitely, know that put a passion in me personally to get the style on the map, because I was born in Detroit, and Detroit at the time was getting such a bad rap. And I'm like, man, this pizza, I thought it was 3 hours away. I thought someone in this competition would have something similar, the nice caramelized cheese sauce on top, but no. So, from that point, I made it a personal mission of my own to get this style, quote unquote, on the map. So I started competing more, doing really well in competitions. And, I got to the point where I won, World Pizza Champion Maker of the Year in 2012. And it's like, I was like, okay, I'm doing all these competitions, and to rewind, back then, everyone knew what Chicago style was. Everyone knows what New York is, but no one knew what Detroit style is. And I'd hear things like Mike Ilitch or, funny comments about it because it's from Detroit. And, that kind of stuff fueled my fire to really get out there. What is an authentic version of this style of pizza? And my whole goal was from 2009, like in 10 years, my vision was, to increase awareness of this style, the authentic version of this style, to where, in 10 years, it'll be as recognized as Chicago and New York styles have became, back then. Nowadays, you don't hear a whole lot of New York style or Chicago style. Chicago style, yeah, but we're in Roman style now and all these other styles of pizza. But back then, like, everyone knew those two. And I'm like, we got Detroit City, part of the big three, I consider New York, Detroit, Chicago. And we have this unique, rich, history-filled pizza that, in my opinion, is the best style of pizza out there, but and nobody knows about it. So that really kind of put a fire in me to personally get it out there. And then, at the point after winning World Pizza Champion Maker of the Year, I branched off and launched my own company, taking my personal mission, making it my company mission to increase awareness of authentic Detroit style pizza by sharing its history, teaching people how to do it authentically, and creating, memories and opportunities for people.
So you've said authentically a couple of times. What is that? What is an authentic Detroit style pizza? Explain that to me.
Sure. So when, we teach people authentic Detroit style pizza, traditionally there's all kinds of things that were done. Deck ovens, pepperoni under the cheese, all these things. But we kind of narrowed it down to like 5 main characteristics, which one is the hydration level of the dough. So, a lot of people, they hear a deep dish or see it's a thick pizza because, it's like 1.5 inches thick, and they're thinking, heavy, dense, filling. And the hydration level of the dough usually is about 70% or higher, which really lends an awesome, light, airy crust if, proofed correctly. So it's definitely not dense. And the hydration level of the dough, 70% or higher. Number 2 would be the shape of the pizza, rectangle, square. I mean, you can't make a round pizza and do everything else and it be an authentic version of the style of pizza, obviously. And that goes back to the pans that's tied into this style and all that. But so we got the shape, we got the 70% hydrated or more. Also, a big part of this pizza that everyone craves is the caramelized cheese around the crust.
Yeah.
So, the cheese is pretty much spread evenly across the whole pan, edge to edge. So the cheese melts against the steel pans and creates that awesome caramelized cheese. So that would be 3, caramelized cheese crust. Number 4 would be sauce is ladled on top of the pizza. So some of the chains out there, like Little Caesars and Jets, they kind of have it structured a little different where the sauce is directly on the dough, then cheese, etc. Authentically, and all the originals have always put sauce on top, and you can do it before bake or after bake, but that would be number 4, sauce on top. So far we got 70% hydrated. We have the shape of the pizza, square rectangle. We have sauce on top. We have the cheese caramelized around the edge, and then once again, it is a deep dish, but don't be confused with the thick, heavy deep dish. So can't make like a 1/4 inch. A lot of people that I've trained with are afraid to bring a thicker pizza to their market and want to, like make it thinner and then market it as authentic Detroit. And it's like, if you're going to do that, stick to the script.
Right. Yeah, it is. When you look at visually at a Detroit style pizza, it looks heavy, but if it's done right, it's heavier than like a thin crust pizza, but it's not like you said, it's not as heavy as a typical Chicago deep dish pizza. It's really light and airy. It doesn't have that thick flavor that you would think it would have by looking at it.
Sure.
And that's what I enjoy about it the most. I think I love it. And it's just starting to get into my area. There's one place down the street from me that does a pretty good one. But there's not a lot of places that are serving that. Do you think that that's an opportunity for folks who are listening to this to kind of bring that to their market?
Yeah, absolutely. And I have seen a couple of your pictures on Instagram. What's the name of that place? Violet or
Volo, VOLO pizza.
Gotcha. Yeah, very cool. So to answer your question, yeah, I've been seeing for the last 3 years, like, bringing this style to different markets, it's wide open. And, I really, truly feel that, we're still like, 1.5, 2 years away from this really hitting critical mass. I will tell you, I've been getting a ton of inquiries from Canada. And
Really?
I see what, I kind of look at what happens with Neapolitan, years ago. And, it took like, maybe 10, 12 years before it just started growing legs and spreading everywhere.
Yeah.
And even for Canada, when it went there, like Toronto, I remember doing some work there. Now we were going to all these pizzerias, probably went to, 15, 20 pizzerias, and every single one was doing Neapolitan, and they're getting the whole pizza at the table. And, it was wild to me, but I see the same thing, happening with Detroit style now. Will it ever get to the point Neapolitan did? I mean, I don't see why not, but I'm not about to predict that because Neapolitan spread pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Answering your question, yes, markets are open for this style, and it all, when I train people and consult people, it's more, do you have what it takes to run a business and this and that, or are you looking to save your business? This isn't something that you can just throw on the menu and hope that it will save things. I've seen it, definitely, increase business and sales and, give a nice dynamic to the menu and stuff. But yeah, if you go into a market and execute it correctly, and marketing it is super simple. I mean, it's getting it in people's mouths. So having a little event, inviting some influencers, some media, and having a menu tasting, and kind of just organically growing it through social media and getting, if you have foot traffic, having someone stand out in front, giving samples. That's what we did in Toronto with Chris when he opened at Descendant Pizzeria. I was there when he opened, and we just went out there with samples. Next thing you know, we have a line out the door, and and that was his first day. And he's from day one been selling out and doing a killer business, opening up a second location. But Yes, to answer your
Yeah.
question. Lots of
Yeah. You know what?
opportunity.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. And especially like in the market that I'm in, there's not a whole lot of people serving that style of pizza. And I think when you open a business and you look at it from a business perspective, you know, Walt Disney said you have to crack the market, right? Like you want to make sure that you stand out a little bit, either improve greatly on something that somebody else is doing or do something completely different, as long as it's a good product. And there's a lot of pizzerias not restaurants, but pizzerias in my area that are all exactly the same. They buy the same pizza sauce. They buy the same pizza cheese. They buy the same flour. They have all the same chicken fingers and same menu items. And there's not much that can separate you other than price if all your products are the same, right? Like the only thing that's going to make me go to yours or a different pizzeria if everything else is equal is the price. So you have to think of it as a way to separate yourself from the market. And this Volo pizza near me was one of the first pizzerias that serves Detroit style pizza. And they're doing a pretty good business. They're a tiny shop. They're probably 600 square feet. You know, they're no dine-in. Just walk in, you get your pizza. They have a couple pizza ovens. And they do a really good job at making a product that you can't necessarily get in a whole lot of places in our area.
Nice. How long has it been open?
It's been open for a couple years now.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if they know. I don't know if you know them or they know you, but they do a great job. Like it's a husband and wife. They owned another pizzeria that I was kind of talking about, like the typical pizzeria here in the Boston area, and sold that, and then just opened this one. I think they just do what they want to do, which is really the key to business and in being happy, right? It's like opening the pizzeria that you want to open and you're passionate about, serving the product that you could want to go in and make every single day. I think that's how you become successful at running a pizzeria.
Sure thing.
Do you sell? I know you sell all the products. Like, do people reach out to you and say, "Hey, where can I get your pans?" And what are the top questions that you usually get?
Top questions. I mean, I get people all the time asking questions about, you know, pans, equipment, ovens, all that. You know, earlier today, I just got off a meeting with Hot Rocks. I'm looking into, you know, their ovens and working out some partnership with them because it's been really hard to ever get a conveyor oven to work with this pizza. And I have a lot of people that are, you know, looking to do really high volume, and, you know, it's really tough to find really good cooks on several deck ovens at a time. So, you know, I'm looking to get into those and see how well they work. I heard a lot of great things about them, but equipment, you know, all that stuff. Yeah, I get inquiries, you know, pretty much what we have. And I've pretty much got a nice, awesome partner now at the pizzeria, so I can fully focus on the distribution. You know, the main thing there is our pans, our commercial dough mixes. You know, we have a very large growing now mail order frozen pizza business ever since we had Dave Portnoy, our Portnoy's review on Barstool.
I saw that.
Yeah, that was insane. But yeah,
I don't necessarily. I saw your post or somebody's post. I don't necessarily watch his reviews because it's a lot of hot air, to be honest with you. You know, he's an okay dude, but you know, I'm not gonna sit there and watch all of his reviews. But he does. I mean, you got to say he has a tremendous power to influence where people go to eat for pizza, for sure.
Absolutely.
So I know that he did a review of yours, and was it a positive review? Obviously, if it's got you business.
So far, we're still second from the top. So I mean, overnight. Well, I mean, after 30 minutes, we sold 903 packs of pizza.
Wow.
After he posted that, to give you an idea of the impact. But yeah, sales definitely went up after that review at the pizzeria as well, and everything.
How are you selling those?
We have been doing it through Goldbelly for quite a long time, probably like 4 or 5 years. And then before that, we were with Foodie Direct, and then we were doing it on our own for, even like 12, 15 years ago. We've been sending pizzas out just because we had customers that would go to Florida in the summer or something, miss our pizza. So, you know, they'd tell us to fill up a cooler, and so we do it on the fly. But Goldbelly is what we mainly go through right now.
How is that working for you? Do you like Goldbelly? Why Goldbelly versus the other one?
Well, actually, Goldbelly bought the other one out not too long ago.
So that's why.
But well, that's not why we switched over. We actually came over before that all happened. But Goldbelly, you know, they are they have been awesome partners of ours, and you know, it's been a great relationship. they kind of handle our e-commerce part of it. So, we get the labels and everything else, and, just have to produce and get everything out. We pretty much drop ship all of our stuff direct from our distribution center. Um, yeah, Goldbelly pretty much approached us when we were on Foodie Direct and said, hey, we can, market you guys, get you more business than Foodie Direct. And I did both for a while, and then I went to Goldbelly, and it's been a great relationship since.
How do you package your pizzas? Like, do you have to do that, or do they help you with that?
We pretty much do all the packaging. So we just get the orders sent to us and the labels sent to us. And then we, obviously make and bake and package everything. So, and we're constantly looking for ways to improve and evolve our packaging, our process, everything. But right now, we're actually switching our packaging because it's getting warmer. But in the colder months, we use the Arctic foil or the reflective insulation that we
Yeah.
get from a local packaging company that Zingerman's uses and a bunch of other places. It works really well, especially in the cold. We ship everything overnight, so it's packed with gel packs and everything's frozen and good to go. Moving into the summer months right now, we're going to be moving to. Right now, we're on the fence. We're either moving to this new product, which is really really awesome. It's quite costly, but it's recyclable material. It's not styrofoam, and it does really well. It's between that and a thicker styrofoam box right now, just for the couple months in the summer, just to make sure we have that extra insulation.
Yeah. So you pre-cook it, and then what do you let it cool off and before you wrap it?
Oh yeah, we got a whole process. I mean, and we're busting out the seams here. I actually not yesterday, but the day before, put an offer on a Mount Clemens bakery that is down the street that is like 4 times bigger than the building we have. And we're actually got plans for the lot next to us getting built out. But the process. What was the question again?
So
Bruce,
like,
I'm sorry.
no worries. So what's the process? I think there's a lot of people who listen who kind of want to, maybe even if they have a regular pizza or whatever their product is, would love to ship it. Right. But I think
Especially nowadays.
the process of them making the pizza, packaging it, getting it shipped, they probably confused about that. So you cook the pizza, you take it out, you let it cool off. Is there a process to that? And then how do you wrap it to get it packaged? Do you have to like vacuum pack it, or how does that work?
Sure. So an overview of the process is basically, we get our orders in, we get our production sheet ready, so we know what needs to go out. When we're making the pizzas, we make the dough, we press it out, we proof it, we manage that, we construct the pizzas, we bake them. What we do is we actually fully cook them. They're just lightly cooked. And with that said, for the health department, we don't. They recommend not vacuuming sealing those. If they said it was raw, they would recommend us vacuum sealing it.
Okay.
But we have, an L-bar wrapper. So actually, when the pizzas come out, we have cooling racks on sheet trays and a bunch of racks. We cool them down, to about room temperature. We get them in the freezer after that, and we get them to temperature where they need to be. Once they're completely frozen, we wrap them and we store them in our, storage freezers. And then once they're there, when it comes time to packing our packages at our packing station, we just pretty much have, different freezers with different flavors of pizzas in that station and everything else. And we're just, packing the packages, pizza, gel pack, pizza. And like I said, we've evolved and tweaked, and we're constantly doing that for equipment, timing, product quality. Like we made a change recently from going to having our sauce packs separate to actually putting the sauce on the pizzas based on feedback and a lot of testing we did at home too. And I just, we come to the fact that we thought it would be a little bit more convenient for people not having to reheat sauce and put it on the pizza themselves. But now after we've done that for 3 or 4 weeks now, we're getting more feedback, and now we're kind of reverting back to the sauce packs separately. So I think in a couple of weeks here, based on a couple other meetings we're going to have and test, we're probably going back to that just to get in a better place.
So it's a constant. I think what I'm gathering from you is that it's a constant evolution, right? Like people,
Absolutely.
There's no set answer. And I think a lot of people make the mistake of looking for an exact answer that they can just do this one thing and it's done. And from what you're saying, it's like, you know what, you got to get started and you're going to have to build a system in order to tweak the system. There has to be a system that's in place, even if it's not a perfect one.
this is really relative because this is not perfect, but this right before your call, I had like 10 minutes to do a really quick test
Yeah.
on 2 different wrapping machines. And you probably can't even read this, but all it is scribble about testing. I wrapped, 20 pizzas in one and 20 in the other and timed it, and absolutely, like, I don't know if we will ever arrive and be like, okay, everything's perfect. I never can see that. I mean, even in my personal life and my philosophy, I mean, I
Yeah.
always want to grow and, learn and stuff like that. So if I can, save money and pay my people more, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, and I think that's what people need to hear is like, you know what? You got to get started. If you want to ship your pizzas across the country, ship a damn pizza across the country. See how it works,
Sure.
and then get the
Yep.
feedback like you said, and then adjust based on that feedback.
Some of the first ones we sent, I think back of this guy up in Traverse City. I mean, I sent him some pizzas and a cooler you get at, a store, just a little cooler. And, I had the sauces in souffle cups, taped. I mean, just, and we're talking maybe, 2010 or 2007 or something like that. One of the first ones we shipped out. And so, from that point and every week, month, year after, I mean, and now you hear me now talking, I'm still testing. I mean, it's,
Yeah,
15 years in the evolution of it, and it will continue.
I love it. And yeah, and that's just how you improve. You just constantly improving, right? And that's how you grow. Just constantly improve over time and listen to the feedback and don't get annoyed with bad feedback. Listen to it, and adjust your processes from that. Now, I know you have, cause I was looking on your website cause I'm going to order some stuff from you cause I want to get some Detroit style pizza. You have, dough, not dough, but flour. That's all you have to do is add water to it.
Yes.
How's that work?
Yeah, we have a residential mix and we have a commercial mix. Um, just add water. It's what we use at all of our pizzerias, my partner pizzerias. We supply handfuls of places locally. We ship pallets to Chicago. We got people, in California. I just sent, 30 bags of our commercial mix to La Via Pizza, Joe Valentino. But yeah, it's something that, number one is super consistent, super easy. So, when we were looking to grow our brand at one point and go, the franchise route, that's
Yeah.
one thing we wanted to kind of get under our thing is, how do we grow without sharing our recipe and our proprietary information, just being spread, to these people. So, and I made the commercial dough mix. We started using it at our pizzeria with great success. And then, we made it available to others. And I mean, amazing product. Just add water, follow the instructions. We got our residential mixes in our first grocery store about 2 months ago. It's a grocery store in our plaza by our pizzeria. The owner let me I wanted to test it in the market. And man, I mean, every week, he's ordering, and this is a smaller, like mom and pop grocery store. And we're doing 12 to 20 residential mix a week, which, to me is like,
Wow.
if we get a Kroger's, I can see, 5-10 times that amount possibly. And these times right now too, like you said about the mailing pizzas or
Yeah.
kits and things like that, I mean, now's the time. And I don't think that's gonna kind of like completely fade out. I think people had all this extra time in their house to get, in their kitchen and, start making bread and pizzas and dough and ordering, different things like that. And I think that's gonna continue,
Yeah.
to be a thing.
I agree. I agree with that 100%. I think that, like we talked about before we started the recording, I think it was before we started the recording, we're in a time right now and we're recording this in the beginning of June, 2020, and everybody knows what's going on in the world right now. And I don't think, everybody talks about what's the new normal going to look like and who the heck knows, right? Like we all have our ideas and thoughts, but nobody really knows. And who knows
Right.
if it's even ever going to go back to what it was like before. But I think the way people dine, at least for the next year, is not going to be what it was a year ago because there's always going to be that hesitation for people to be in enclosed areas with a lot of people. So we all need to experiment and, the internet is an amazing place for doing that. So I think you're right. I think there's an opportunity for restaurants and pizzerias to either ship their ingredients so that way people can make it at home or the ship frozen or refrigerated through Goldbelly or something like that, their product already done so people can just reheat it. I think that's an opportunity for folks.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously I'm involved with the World Pizza Champion team and we have a group chat
Yeah.
WhatsApp, and when all this stuff started happening, and you know, dine-in number one. I mean, I'm talking to a lot of people all over that they're afraid to even start dine-in now and stuff like that, just because thinking this is going to happen again. But
Right.
you know, a lot of people on the team were really quick to, you know, come up with pizza kits and stuff like that early, you know, in this, and you know, several of them seem to, you know, have a lot of success with it, and you know, I'm sure that really helped a lot of those, you know, especially the dine-in businesses that really got hit. I mean, the carry-out
Yeah.
and deliveries seem to, you know, hold their weight, and might have been, you know, dented a little in the beginning, but found their way. And but the, you know, bigger operations definitely, I think, took a way bigger toll.
Yeah, and be first. Like, don't be afraid to, like, I think people are wait too long, right? Like, don't wait till somebody else does it, and then somebody else does it, and then somebody else does it for you to try it. Like, try it first. Think think outside the box. Like, what can you do to be different and be first to market and be that go-to person in your area for that thing? Like, don't wait too long.
Yeah. Yeah, you can learn a lot from your mistakes,
Yeah.
real fast, rather than just trying to get everything perfect on paper or the right time and this and that. Go ahead and get beat up a little bit. I mean, that's
Right.
I mean, you know, I was born in Detroit, and you know, I was only there to third grade, but I have lots of memories in elementary school of, you know, whatever, getting beat up, you
Yeah.
know, just all kinds of challenges to overcome. And you know, that might have, you know, not might have, it definitely made me who I am today, and everything. But I agree, you should just, you know, take action. I mean, you got an idea, nothing's going to hurt to just try it.
Yep. You know, I've learned a lot of things that I've learned over my life by making mistakes and doing it wrong in the beginning versus learning from somebody else's who's done it right.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this. So that, can you make a good Detroit style? This is personal. I'm asking for myself here now. Can you make a good Detroit style pizza at home?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When you get our, and send me an email, I'll send you a package. But even our residential dough mix, like, you know, we have a gluten-free one too, and I'm working on the retail packaging on that. And so, you know, I've made it the other day, a regular one and gluten-free at my house, you know, for dinner for our kids, and my wife is celiac. So,
Oh yeah.
you know, just the gluten-free one, it was what my goal was, but I made a regular one, and man, I mean, it is just, I mean, it's amazing. And obviously I'm, you know, it's my product. I'm going to say that, but you know, my kids, they even ate the gluten-free sticks and everything. And, you know, my one son's really picky, but, yeah, awesome product. But outside of our product, doing it yourself, yeah, you know, I got we have a DSPC TV YouTube channel. We have a couple different, well, recipe on there for at home. It's not in grams. A lot of people ask for that. I do have some contracts out there that I can't really post publicly scalable, commercially scalable recipes, but,
Yep.
you know, it'll get you at a good point. You know, a very simple basic sauce recipe on there too. But either or, I mean, our residential dough mix, man, you just add water. If you got a little kitchen mixer,
Yep.
you don't need one, but you do. You know, as long as you mix it to the point it's got some elasticity, and you know, it's not breaking apart, you're gonna be really impressed.
Is it got yeast in the flour itself?
Yeah, everything's in the flour. Just add water.
Nice. I'm gonna check that out because I've been on that Detroit style pizza kit, but I love making pizza at home. Like, I love doing that with
Right.
my kids, or, you know,
Oh, yeah.
or ordering or making a pizza when I want it, not necessarily having to order it out. I'm still the pizza maker in me, because I did it for so
Sure.
long, still wants to have my hands in the dough and make that product myself.
Absolutely. I want to get to the point where I'm back probably where you are, because now when I'm in the kitchen, it's always I'm notes. It's, you know, I'm taking hours because I'm marking things down, trying to tweak. But you know,
Yeah.
it's always nice to make a pizza at home, like you said, with your kids. Make it a, you know, a fun time, something to do, get them involved, and then enjoy your creation.
Yeah, you guys do it all the day, so it's like you go home, you kind of don't want to do that. I'm the opposite. I miss doing it, so I need to do it at
Right.
home because I haven't had a chance to do it for too long. This is super interesting. So what's up? What's next for you? Like, what's on the horizon for you?
Well, next on the horizon for us is, you know, we're finally at the point this week, where, you know, and my mom, actually, she's the one that's pretty much, you know, has managed or been head of the mail order portion of our business. But as of this week, we're pretty much caught up, which means, you know, next week we're looking to reach out to Goldbelly and lift our limits since
Yep.
all this happened with that review. We're basically sold out till the end of July, which means
Wow.
we have 150 packages going out Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, which are 3-packs or 6-packs every day of the week until the end of July. That's just where our production, could handle at this point. We're going to lift that. So, I mean, priority wise for us is just to get to the point where we can get back to where we were. If you want to order our mail order pizza, you can get it in, possibly the next day or within a few days. Not, you order it today and you're getting it in a month and a half or 2 months. That's priority number one, and we're going to be there very soon. I would say probably in like 3 weeks, we'll have everything lifted and probably back to normal ordering things. But, it's tough because I have so many variables going on right now with this. Like I said, we're trying to build out next door. I got an architect working on that. I happen to find this bakery. I go into it and it's like got 5 of these machines and pieces of equipment I've been looking at the last 3 months to bring in here.
Yep.
And it's like, man, so, I'm not sure if we're going to end up there or not, but the big priority here is to scale up for our frozen pizza at this point. I mean, our commercial mixes, our pans, they're flowing and everything. And it's about the frozen pizza right now and scaling that and getting to a point where we can produce a lot more than we are, because not only Gold Belly, has been blowing up for us, but we had worked out a deal with QVC come October.
Wow.
So that is what we were, before this whole review, we were, we stripped out our current building kitchen and, bringing new equipment in. I've been ordering so much stuff, breaking down counter. I mean, getting it ready for QVC really, and the numbers we're going to be doing there. And then all of a sudden we get this review. So in the middle of me kind of trying to, finagle a position where our process is, producing a nice little flow, I had to be like, okay, shoot, we got to stop all of this now and just do what we can do. And so that's why it's been hard to catch up, because it's not only like, we're normally running business. I was in the middle of completely changing the kitchen and all this. So that's priority number one right now.
Do you think you're going to continue to operate the pizzeria as well? Or is it going to be more towards the frozen delivery at home kind of model?
So the pizzeria, is, it's a vehicle that has been waiting for the right partner. I remember 3-4 years ago, at Pizza Expo, I was at my booth and Tony came by, Tony Gimignani, and I just asked him, I was kind of just to get his feedback, I said, Tony, I'm thinking of, concentrating more on, my distribution and this and that. I just kind of wanted what he thought. And he's like, well, are you selling stuff or whatever? And anyways, long story short, since that point, 3.5-4 years ago, like I said, I haven't been at the pizzeria, and fortunate enough, I've built a strong system over the 1.5 or 2 decades I was over there. So, I attest that's the reason why it didn't fall apart, even with management. But, the pizzeria, to get to the point here, Joe Mano is our partner. He, in my opinion, is probably the only person I know that's as or close to as passionate about the style as me, and that I know at least. So it was like a perfect fit. And just, since I got diagnosed with this at the beginning of the year and everything that's happened this year, I'm a firm believer in the universe and just things falling in place as long as, you believe in that and are aware of some universal things. And I'm just so grateful and blessed for so many things, but, him steering the wheel over there and being the leader is an amazing thing. And there's a lot of opportunity that's going to come out of that. And just kind of, we had him coming on board. We had a state of, the address for the store was this, we need to build a team that our culture, that what we want our culture to be, because, we had kids there. And at that point, we didn't even have a manager. So no marketing was going on, no nothing. So he was coming on board, knowing the situation and him knowing me personally. And he has a nice experience with Zingerman's Bakehouse. They actually paid him to come train because he got a grant because they do these special little side businesses for people that work with them. Yeah. Long story short, I've known him for a while. And, he says when I won in 2012 is what inspired him. So, it's kind of cool to see him now part of things. And that pizzeria, since that review, and we've definitely maintained it because now we have leadership there and great service, all that good stuff. Our sales, more than doubled, and the goals that we had for a year out for him to get where he and the store needed to be, basically, like we're there now and we're past there. So, it's a win-win. But with that, we also are looking at, always got a lot going on, Bruce, but I have another guy right now has, he's built franchise pizzerias before. He has a very large amount of resources, and I'm really not interested in money or selling equity of my company, but this guy wants to come in and start a new company and utilize his resources and his own money to help grow the pizzeria brand and open licensed stores as well.
Yeah.
Which as long as I have the right person and a team, and I'm willing to back up. Recently, I completely walked out of a deal with one of the originals. They wanted me to partner with them. I won't mention their name just to respect that, but there's like 4 original Detroit style pizza places: Buddy's, Cloverleaf, Shields, and Louis.
Yep.
I've been talking for almost a year and change with one of them, and a couple of weeks ago I just had to say, I'm right as soon as we got the operating agreement and everything, and I had to say, no, I got to concentrate on my brand. I mean, what they want from me is what my brand provides. My,
Right.
my services and my product. They want our dough, and they want, me to train. So, I just, at this point, I'm going to be around. I don't plan on dying soon because of this. And like I said, everything's great. So, but I need to really, things change for me, perspective with family,
Yeah.
business, everything. And I got this brand that I've poured my blood, sweat, and tears into for the last 25 years, or, the pizza business, 25 years, this brand since 2012. So yeah, that's where I'm at with things, and always
Yeah.
a lot going on.
Well, you got to focus, right? Like, I think you got to focus your time. You have to think about, look at every opportunity that comes in, and then determine if that's something that you can have quality time to spend on. And if it's something you're passionate about, right? Like, if you're not passionate about it and you don't really think you have enough time, it's not probably worth your time to do anything. You're better off like you are. You have 2 focuses right now: helping your partner manage and grow the pizzeria, and then the distribution business, which you can deliver product to people at home and people who own pizzerias. So that's a great model.
Yep. And our food truck's for sale. We sold it, I think, tomorrow. I got them coming back to look at. And that was another thing, too, that, I looked at everything and I'm like, just like you said, and this is good for people listening. It's like, I've always struggled with, not necessarily no one can do it better or control, but, I've always got my hands, and I'm always,
Yeah.
doing so many things, and these, there's so many opportunities, but, I really, you really have to become a master delegator and team builder. And, that's the more value you can bring to your business than just running off the seat of your pants, helping with the mail order, or going to a pizzeria, trying to help with the food truck and all that. I mean, just strategically planning things, is more valuable. I don't know where I read it, but, or maybe consultant many years ago, I don't know, but, it always stuck with me is, you got to look at the value you bring to your business. So if you're working ovens, I mean, how much does it cost to pay by working ovens? If you're building a website, sure. I mean, you're not going to want to do that. I'm just throwing that out there, but I mean,
No, I
if
get what you're saying.
you're making a partnership with a guy that can, grow your business, or an influencer that can triple your business overnight. I mean, you're bringing, multiple thousands of dollars an hour of value basically to your business with that time spent.
Yeah, it's always hard because people always look at it like from the perspective of, if you do a job and you say you're 100%, right? A lot of people who are business owners and not entrepreneurs, I think there's a difference between a business owner and a true entrepreneur. Business owners look at it like, I can make pizzas 100%. This person can only make pizzas 80% as good as I can. So I'm just going to do that. But what if you could do something else to grow your business? And 80% is probably better than most people do anyway, but you have to be okay with the fact that he's only 80% as good with you. And most people can't get past that fact.
Yep.
And I think that's a huge mistake that people make. And it would help them grow, because everybody looks at yourself and compares your employees to you, which is a huge mistake, because they don't own the business. You own the business. Right. So obviously you're going to care about it more. You're going to invest more time and more of your brain power towards that business than somebody who doesn't have a stake other than just the hourly pay.
Absolutely. And I think, just throwing out there, that is probably one of the biggest struggles for, restaurant, pizzeria owners, and business owners probably in general for that matter. But, finding people that care to an extent that is good enough that, will support what you're looking for. I mean, that's what our pizzeria struggled with for so long. And that's why when we first came on board, it's been a couple, 2.5, 3 months now, but I mean, we've already, we've let some people go. We've brought some people on. Our culture is already, we looked at things that were, interfering with the culture and things, and you know, we're in a way better place even in a short period of time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's fascinating to talk business with you, Shawn. I could talk to you all day long, but where can people go if they want to go order your flour, or if they're listening and maybe they don't own a pizzeria, but they want to get into it? Like, where could they reach out for you if they have a question or want to purchase something from you, or where would be a good place to send them?
For all of our distribution, mixes, pans, consulting, and training, you can go to DetroitStylePizza.com. For our pizzeria, it's DetroitStylePizza.co. You can always email me at Shawn@DetroitStylePizza.com. And like I said, we do have some good videos, and I do need to get back on there on DSPC TV on YouTube, getting a lot of questions we get, like how to reseason a pan, season a pan. I got videos in the work that we will get posted because I just want people to have it out there and save some time on all these emails I get.
Right? You just link them right to the YouTube. Hey, go watch this video. That answers your question. We'll link all that up in the show notes. We'll link the pizzeria, how people can purchase your flour and your pans, and the YouTube channel if they want to go see how to make these pizzas at home. Shawn, thank you so much, my friend. It was awesome talking to you. Thanks for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you, Bruce. It was my pleasure. And you have a great weekend.